not just that, firearms were also recovered, 12 of cartridges that were recovered. And who is this man? He happens to be the chairperson of the municipal corporation there in Halisar. And what's the connection? It's once again linked to the ruling party. We debate after this report.
Hoards of cash recovered during ED raids at the premises of Partha Chatterjee's aide 2 months ago. And now, stacks of cash recovered by the CID in Malda. The West Bengal Criminal Investigation Department on Sunday seized a large amount of cash amounting to 1.4 crore rupees from the residence of a fish vendor in West Bengal's Malda district.
Now in Malda, the CID has conducted a raid in Malda in the place of Jaiprakash Saha. Now, who is Jaiprakash Saha? Jaiprakash Saha is a fish vendor. Now, how can someone has this amount of money? What is the amount that 1 crore and 40 lakhs rupees they got in the home of Jaiprakash Saha?
From the raids on the businessman identified as Jaiprakash Saha, stacks and stacks of unaccounted cash have been recovered. While an investigation is underway to find out the source of the money trail and how he had amassed the wealth, police are also investigating the narco-terror angle.
Now, what is the connection of this amount with the fish vendor? The CID has said that he has a direct connection in Bangladesh and there is a connection of narco also.
It must be noted that the Bengal raids are witnessing a huge amount of cash recoveries, be it piles of crores recovered from searches linked to SSC scam or the latest from Malda. As the investigation is underway and till no political connection has come up, one wonders if there is a political nexus in the Malda case.
CBI conducted raid in West Bengal, and what happened after that? They arrested Anubroto Mondol, the heavyweight leader of Trinamool Congress. They also arrested Raju Sahani. He is the Halisar municipal chairman. ED conducted raid in West Bengal. They arrested Partha Chattopadhyay. He was the minister of West Bengal. And after that, CID raided in West Bengal, and they arrested Jaiprakash Saha, a fish vendor. Now, who is the next in West Bengal? With Sanjay Naya, this is Rita Basu reporting for Republic, Kolkata.
Joining us on the burning question tonight, Priyanka Tibrewal of the BJP, Pratim Ranjan Bose, senior journalist, joining us from Kolkata, SK Datta, political analyst from the National Capital, Riju Datta, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, Shubhankar Bhattacharya, political analyst, joining us from Lucknow, and Nilanjan Das, political analyst, joining us from Kolkata. Starting the burning question tonight is Riju Datta and Priyanka Tibrewal. Let's have both of them on air right now. Riju, first to you. Let me just put out the entire sequence and the connections that have been emerging. And before you essentially indicate that the investigation is underway, so let's not come to any sort of conclusion. We're not coming to any conclusions at the outset. Let me make that very clear. But having said that, there is a lot of answering to do. Let's take a look at some of those images. In fact, our producers can also put out those images of the cash recovery, not just the recovery that was done today, but the recoveries that have been done so far. One starting from the SSC scam, and then it continues, Riju. Now, what's very important is that, I'll just ask our producers, let's move to the other picture. This is the picture that is of the cash recovery that has been made today. Let's also bring in the old pictures of the SSC scam, and that had been linked to none other than a senior leader called Partha Chatterjee. Now, Riju, please explain. In the case of Anubroto Mondol, there is a bodyguard whose name is Saigal Hussain. We are given to understand that Saigal Hussain was the one who was collecting the money on behalf of Anubroto Mondol. A bodyguard has a list of over 60 properties linked to him, Riju. What are we to understand out of it?
Shaban, thank you for your questions. Now let me put it very clear that anyone found guilty of corruption should be put behind bars. We have nothing against these investigating agencies, particularly the officers of these investigating agencies who are doing their job. But the question here is this: all of them who are accused of these scams, nothing has been proven in the court of law, number one. Number two, if you are conducting an investigation, why are you not conducting a fair investigation? And let me point it out to you. If Saigal Hussain is behind bars, there is nothing against Anubrata Mandal. Let me remind your viewers that few years ago, our MP Shudeep Bandopadhyay and Madan Mitra was also arrested by the central agencies. One is an MLA now, the other one is the MP sitting in the parliament. Nothing is proven. Secondly, we have always cooperated with the investigating agencies. And if you are so against corruption, then do an introspection, look into your own house. There is a huge scam in Madhya Pradesh which has been unearthed now in children's nutrition under Shivraj Singh Chauhan's nose. Nothing is happening. CBI and ED get selective conjunctivitis when it's a BJP run state. What happens to why is Shubhendu Adhikari not called? ED, CBI, FIR mentioned in Sharada and Naroda scam. What happens to Hemant Biswa Sarma, against whom BJP did a campaign before he joined BJP? So मतलब तृणमूल में रहोगे तो आप criminal हो, BJP के washing machine में धुल जाओ तो आप संत बन जाओगे. This is the kind of hypocrisy that people are seeing very clearly through. Bottom line, Shravan, you have given me the courtesy of time. I just want to tell you this. We have nothing against a specific agency probe, but the agencies need to be clear, it needs to be honest, and all the cattle and coal smuggling that is coming into light, the borders and the collieries are guarded by the BSF and CISF under the Home Minister, and I am categorically saying it on Republic that it is a Home Minister scam. The link goes directly to the top and he should be answerable why under his nose everything is happening. And that is why we as Trinamool Congress, we say the biggest pappu in India is Mr. Amit Shah, because he has failed on all aspects.
Okay, you've made your opening remarks, Riju. Okay, you've laid the foundation as far as this debate is concerned from the Trinamool side, where you're essentially indicating that why one-sided investigation is being carried out. When we say one-sided, Riju is essentially trying to point out that it's only related to the opposition parties, particularly the Trinamool Congress. Priyanka, I want you to come in right now. With regards to Shubhendu Adhikari, the Trinamool Congress has time and again been raising this point. And every time question about Shubhendu Adhikari is raised by the Trinamool Congress, the BJP seems to perhaps go on a muted response, saying that investigation is underway. Sharada and Naroda case are in the court. The court is basically taking cognizance of the matter. Hence, there is nothing much to talk about. If that's the case, why exactly hasn't the central agencies really questioned any of the leaders who have been connected to the Bharatiya Janata Party? And that is the reason why an allegation that is sticking to you is that it is only the opposition parties that have been constantly targeted.
Now, Shravan, they come up with this excuse every time, but I don't understand that by saying that why aren't you investigating the others, they are not at all mentioning, they are not at all denying that they haven't done any scams. They are saying go arrest others, then you can arrest us. So that means there is an acceptance that there have been scams. Now, you know, this government really needs to introspect and I tell you why. Stacks of cash. You believe your eye, I believe my eye, and we are seeing that it is being recovered. This government is in power from 2011. What are they doing? See, array of acquisitions, and not just array, which are turning out to be true now. But it's a matter of shame. You know, Bengal is in news each and every day in the national news for all negative reasons. Now, whether it be scams, the cow smuggling, the coal smuggling, and you know, they are trying to say, go question Amit Shah. My question to them is that if there is any kind of doubt in their mind as to the fair investigation, which they believe is not happening, why aren't they moving before the court of law? Don't they have any trust on the judiciary? Now, I will tell you that every time they take out the name of Shubhendu Adhikari, they did file a matter before the High Court where they said that they are not questioning Shubhendu Adhikari. The matter was dismissed because only, you know, babbling on TV or blabbering on TV won't help. You need to have evidence. They went before the court of the law and the court of law said that this case will be dismissed because it doesn't have anything specific to hold on. Now, the center is not doing any kind of investigation. It is being done by the CBI. Now, if they, again I'll repeat, if they believe that this is not a fair investigation, They can challenge the same before the court of law. They tried to do that. You know, they are having no belief on the judiciary itself. They are writing letters against the judges who are listening matters. They are writing against the judges to the Chief Justice. So which very well proves that there is no denial from them that there are no scams. They have done scams. When they are being arrested, they are going to the jail. Now tell me, if this was not a fair investigation, why did they throw out Partho Chatterjee from the party? Why did Mamta say that she will not stand beside him? So they themselves believe that the amount of cash which has come out, and then he is talking about Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Let me remind my friends that those people who did not get jobs are all sitting at Mayo Road in West Bengal. Most of them had to also pay for the jobs, but even then they didn't get the job. So these scams are happening very much in West Bengal, and the government here is answerable.
Okay. So I've had
Shravan,
both my
rebuttal for
political
10
guests,
seconds,
the Bharatiya Janata Party representative and the Trinamool Congress,
A quick
opening
rebuttal
up.
for 10 seconds, please.
Now I'll get into some specifics. Let's now take the debate to more specifics, and Riju and Priyanka, the idea of this debate would be to talk about specifics and leave the political rhetoric. We've been doing that. Every television debate that both the political parties come to, they get into the rhetoric. Tonight, I'm going to just make an attempt to dig a little deeper to really look at some of these issues that concern the public. And Riju, that's why I'm coming to you on this matter. For a moment, Riju, just try and avoid this political rhetoric and answer my questions a little directly. Only then perhaps even people who've been supporting your party may have an answer, because there are a few things which still haven't been clarified. Riju, question number one to you. You have been constantly referring to the fact that it is the centre which has been using these agencies as a political tool. The counter to that, Riju, is as far as the SSC scam is concerned, this was a court-directed investigation. The Central Bureau of Investigation is only acting upon what the court said. The court, if I may remind you, Riju, the Calcutta High Court essentially indicated that this scam was of a huge proportion. And in fact, the CBI was also taken to task, let me remind you. The Calcutta High Court had taken the CBI to task also because they were not very proactive on this entire matter. So let's look at this way, that rather than simply saying that it is because there is a political slugfest that is going on, you are being targeted. But the fact of the matter is two things. One, there is a massive cash recovery that has been done. And as far as evidence is concerned, let's not forget there is an envelope of the ministry in which Partho Chatterjee has been handling. Envelope of that has basically been found. So can you prima facie, can you really take away the fact that there are links that are emerging, and these are direct links that are emerging with your party leaders? So why should people not question you?
Right, you wanted a direct answer, I'll give you a direct answer. And Priyanka Tibrewal also raised the issue about Partho Chatterjee. CBI is doing a probe on the SSC matter by the direction of the Honorable High Court. Very good. Now, Partho Chatterjee was arrested on 22nd of July and huge cash was recovered from his aide's house. Now, my question again, I will say you this, and I'm not going to go into a rhetoric or a whataboutery, that when few years ago our leaders were arrested by the central agencies, is anything proved till now? My question, my humble request through your channel to the central agencies is, finish all your probe. You are an investigating agency. You are not going to give judgment. The media is not going to give judgment. Me or Priyanka Tibrewal is not going to say he is holier than thou or he is a criminal. The court has to decide. So please complete your investigation within 1 year, and if proven guilty, throw him behind bars. And if not proven guilty, then BJP should come and apologize, and the media should do so. Now the second point, why was, which Priyanka Tibrewal raised,
why media?
Was Partho Chatterjee sacked?
Riju, why this attack on the media? I don't understand. Why do you have a problem with the media?
I'm not attacking the media. I am saying I've got nothing. No, I have nothing against Republic. I have nothing absolutely against Republic. It is just across all channels. where every day you have to understand, Shravan, when a person is being investigated by a central investigative agency and he is being arrested and sent into custody without the judgment being pronounced, every day there is a khap panchayat on every channel across the board trying to malign a party that has come overwhelmingly by the people's mandate, and it has been going on continuously. So I am not attacking the media, I am saying what is happening. We have seen it in the Sushant Singh Rajput case, we have seen it in the Aryan Khan case. This always happens. But what happens after proven not guilty? Who will take the responsibility at that time then? And I will refer to you, Shravan, I will refer to you two incidents. In the Anubrata Mandal case, his daughter, when he was taken into custody for not attending summons, he was called as a witness. But then they said that he is not attending, so he was arrested. Then the additional affidavit was filed and his daughter was called saying, your work or wherever you are doing your job, that is also under question. And then by the order of the court, and then the next day after 24 hours, the court took it back. But within that 24 hours, this is a girl who has lost her mother 3 months ago, whose father is behind bars, and 24 hours, every regional Bengali channel, every national channel was on her. Now, if she on that day would have committed suicide because of this mental torture, who was to be blamed? Because court took its order back just the next day.
No, Mr. Riju Datta,
so you have to
please do not,
what is happening.
Please
also.
do not spread fake,
and let me
fake
finish,
things
Priyanka, I don't
on a national channel.
I did not came. Let me finish.
Court did not take away the court did not. So do not speak. Do not speak what is not true. Court did not take away the order against her. Court said that file a fresh application regarding the same.
Shravan, please, I cannot talk like this.
So don't speak what is not true. And you are not there in the court, so you hardly know what happened. So please do not speak what is not true.
I'm requesting both of you, Riju and Priyanka, not often. Priyanka and Riju, just hold, listen, hear me out. Not, okay, Riju, just hold on. Hear me out. Not often do we really get the chance to really hear you all out rather than getting into the shouting match. But what's important to point out here, Riju, as Priyanka was pointing out, why don't you respond to that? Priyanka is saying that court never took that order away. So you are basically now being charged for spreading lies.
Right. I'm giving a direct answer. I am giving a direct answer. The court took the order back the other day saying that she does not have to come in person, file a completely separate affidavit, and from that day till now it has been almost a month that girl is not being called. Then why did that happen that 24
so whatever I said is true. He's accepting now. So don't speak half truth.
I have two pointed questions. You know, this blabbermouth, she'll always talk nonsense on TV.
No, Riju, let's not. Riju, this is not fair.
I will keep shut.
Riju, can I please? Riju, you cannot. Riju, you cannot perhaps get personal. Riju, please don't get personal. Once again, Priyanka, 1 minute. Riju, please don't get personal, and please do not make comments like that. You want to have a fair debate. No, Riju, this is very unfair. Priyanka's intervention. 1 minute. Riju, Priyanka's intervention comes at a point in time when Priyanka's intervention basically comes at a time when she's basically saying that there is what you are basically narrating, what you are essentially narrating at this point in time, they are factually incorrect. Her intervention comes at that point in time. Riju, I don't think so that's the way you would essentially respond, especially a mature political party like yours and a spokesperson like you. I don't think so you would not like anyone calling you a blabbermouth. So let's not do that.
I gave the answer, but then somebody butted in and gave nonsensical comments. I was just saying that. Let me finish and I will give I will ask just two questions.
You both talk on facts, it's okay. It's for the viewers to decide. Riju, it's for the viewers to decide whether you are correct or Priyanka Tibrewal is correct. Okay, you've made your point. Okay, can I 1 minute. You both have made your points. Let me now open up the debate. Okay, Riju, if you're done, both of you, if you're done, Priyanka would like to also respond, but Priyanka, let me just do something. Let me also bring in our other guests.
No, I have two questions, Shravan.
Okay, what's your question? Ask your question.
Questions, 10 seconds. I have just two
questions.
questions.
Okay, ask your question.
Just two questions. Yes. First question, yes, thank you. First question is, my National General Secretary Abhishek Banerjee said the primary accused in the cattle smuggling case, Vinay Mishra, who is supposedly out of this country and CBI has issued a lookout notice, is in direct touch with Shubhendu Adhikari, the BJP leader of opposition in Bengal. I want the BJP or even Shubhendu Adhikari to come on Republic and say it's a lie. That's it, end of story. And second,
Okay.
if Priyanka Tibrewal is a lawyer by profession,
he has already said that.
She lives on filing public interest litigation. So I challenge Priyanka Tibrewal, if I pay her fees as a lawyer, not as a BJP stooge, as a lawyer, will she file a public interest litigation against Shubhendu Adhikari? That's all. Two of my questions. Now she can have my airtime.
Okay, Priyanka, why don't you quickly respond to both the questions that have been asked? I really want to also bring in our other guests. We've stretched it very long. So, Priyanka, my request to you, a quick rebuttal. A quick rebuttal to Riju. Riju is asking you, will you or will you not, as an eminent lawyer from Kolkata, will you or will you not perhaps file an affidavit in the court as far as Shubhendu Adhikari is concerned? And secondly, with respect to that allegation that the Trinamool Congress is levelling at Shubhendu Adhikari, that he is the one who's received a call from Vinay Mishra, who's perhaps I'm given to understand was in Trinidad and Tobago, and thereafter he's probably shuttled to another country.
Actually, Shravan, I think Mr. Datta is busy just watching which are the leaders and from where the cash is being recovered of TMC. That is why he is not updated. This has already been answered by Shubhendu Adhikari yesterday, where he said that if they have any such recording, and if that recording is true, then why don't they take it out? They are sitting tight over it. Now, anyways, because there is nothing as such, and whatever is their own creation. And we are seeing so many fake advocates they have fake leaders, they have fake degrees, so anything fake is possible with TMC. Now, secondly, in regard to the PIL, which my friend is talking, again and again I will say, they went to the court, they went to the High Court, and before the High Court, they said that arrest Shubhendu Adhikari, do investigations on Shubhendu Adhikari. They also mentioned what the CBI should do and what they shouldn't. See, they are specifying, they are giving time limit to CBI. Look at their audacity.
Riju,
they are
let's
giving
not do this.
A time limit. And Mr. Datta, you got it on your face.
You asked a question. Riju, this is not fair. Riju, this is not fair. Riju, this is not fair. You asked a question to Priyanka. Priyanka is responding.
He filed a PIL. Listen to me.
Let's be civil. You've asked two questions.
They
Priyanka
filed
is responding.
a PIL.
Priyanka, quickly respond. I need to also bring in our other guest.
TMC, yes, that is what I'm saying. TMC filed a PIL before the Chief Justice, and they were, they got it on their face, tight slap. The court said that it is not maintainable. They dismissed the petition, the PIL. So what else he expects? He should go to the Supreme Court against that order where the Honorable Court said that that petition is not maintainable.
Okay, Pratim Ranjan Bose and Shubhankar Bhattacharya come in next. Pratim Ranjan Bose, you've heard both our political guests. As a journalist who've covered various reports, when you're essentially seeing these kind of developments that are taking place in the state of West Bengal, Riju has essentially pointed out that come to a conclusion. We don't have a problem. Come to a conclusion as far as the investigation is concerned. Priyanka, on the other hand, is also indicating that there is enough to raise questions about corruption existing in the party. Pratim Ranjan Bose, I want you to weigh in. How do you essentially look at the fact that today, every passing day, there are searches that are being carried out by the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate, and by the end of the day, we are given to understand wads of cash is recovered. The TMC says it's all with a singular attempt to malign the image of a party that has got a thumping majority.
Thanks. You see, as a journalist, if you ask me, and I think whatever is coming out now, we have been hearing for last 10 years. It was all in public domain, but of course, no one could report it. There are different reasons for not reporting. One is unless you have evidence, someone will sue you. And there was no evidence. Now, what you see is it's not every day, and I don't think in India it has ever happened that 50 crores of cash is coming out and so glaringly. So obviously this is undeniable somewhere, and that is why Partha Chatterjee has been axed, because he was coming too heavy for the image of the party. About other things, of course, the party will wait and see. One allegation, when I look at it, if you say the chit fund scam, there is substance in the allegation that nothing has happened. It is true. Now, this is actually a double-edged sword. State government formed a SIT too, and Trinamool spokesperson, Mr. Kunal Ghosh, was in jail for 3.5 years. Nothing was proved. So here is a case that probably, let me put it this way, that probably no one wanted to solve. And everyone knows that it cannot be solved. So that is why certain things are coming out. About the rest of the things, as I said, there is a build-up to this. You see, in West Bengal, a lot of things were happening. One thing I often say is that earlier, the lower-end jobs, those were available only if you are queuing up before the party. I saw it happening since mid-80s. I grew up in an industrial town, and I'm very acquainted with business industry. So I saw these things happening as a student, as a child, and then as a professional. What happened now is, that is very peculiar. You see, we also saw some cash dealings during left period in certain cases. But these amounts were low. But what happened later on, these are verifiable truths. I mean, these are, let me put it this way, this is because I'm on a national TV and someone can tell that where is the proof. Now that is the biggest thing. But let me say, you just go out and check the low-end jobs.
No, that should be the case also, Mr. Bose.
Sorry?
No, evidence is extremely crucial.
Exactly. So this is where now, when the court has struck down 269 jobs, there was 273, two didn't take the job, and I think finally the number came down to 269 who were given job. This is now a proven case where people were put into jobs and they lost it. This is the first time in the history that we are seeing some kind of recourse is coming. This is much bigger truth than cash coming out of Partha Chatterjee's aid, because here the whole government is responsible for this. Okay. How could these people get the job? And the court has held them.
Okay, can I take this question to also Shubhankar? Shubhankar, now all this while we were talking about the central agencies. Today, the CID has carried out the searches. When the searches were basically carried out, they are saying that the recovery, at least some of it, you perhaps can see it on our screens right now. And I would like to bring it, Riju, also in a short while from now, as far as today's case is concerned, the CID. Now, please tell me, is it really possible, especially when everyone is again in a hushed tone saying that, look here, you found nothing on Onubroto Mondal. The investigation is still underway. But Shubhankar, the question here is that, is it absolutely possible that you actually find every search that you carry out, you find 70 lakhs, 80 lakhs, crores of money lying around, and that too with people who have no credentials whatsoever? So how can this actually happen and then say that there is zero evidence? At least prima facie, the fact that there has been recovery of unaccounted cash, that raises some very uncomfortable questions.
Well, Shravan, the thing is that I think the investigators are intelligent enough to, find out the evidences and then link them at the proper places. But the larger question is not here. The larger question is, what exactly defines when you say that it has to be, impartial? The impartiality means that, when you say the justice done, what is actual justice? Justice should be it should be impartial. It should not be you can't be selective. That is one of the biggest points. I am saying, if something is found out, if Partha Chatterjee is the culprit, put him behind bars, set an example that no other leader dares to do that again. If Abhishek Banerjee is culprit, put him behind bars. If Mamta Banerjee is culprit, put her behind bars, set an example. But again, then also you have a responsibility to just prove to the nation that you are being impartial, you're not being selective, while you are actually defining to put the culprits behind bar. You should not repeat the things that you did with Sharada and Narada scam. You should not repeat what you did with Mukul Roy. You should not repeat what you're doing with Shubhendu Adhikari. You should not repeat the things that like it is happening with Narayan Rane. Or you should not do the things like it is happening with, Manish Sisodia. So this entire thing, while being selective in picking up, your culprits and picking up the cases and picking up your points while defining what corruption is, that in itself doesn't define justice. That is the point. I am saying put anyone who is found culprit, put anyone who is defined as culprit, whom the evidence targets to, put them behind bar, set an example so that no other leader can actually redo that again and throw this corruption out of the India that actually BJP was promising about. But you cannot, invite them into your party, put them inside you, include them with yourself. Okay. You should not be doing that.
SK Datta, why don't you respond? Selective targeting of opposition leaders. That's exactly the impression that is coming out with these day-to-day searches that are basically being carried out. And is it really possible? That all the leaders against whom there have been charges that have been leveled, be it in the BJP, it seems that they are inside the washing machine. They've come out of it absolutely squeaky clean.
Well, Shravan, the question of being selective or not being selective, I think if it is at all selective, and if it is selective, like the way the opposition keeps on accusing, the court of our country...
If you look at the list, it looks selective. No. SK Datta, if you take a look at the list, of the searches that have been carried out, and in terms of mere statistics, then the searches, large part of it has always been at the opposition camp.
Well, I was just exactly coming to that only, Shravan. If it is a question of being selective, I think the court cases are going on, irrespective of parties and irrespective of leaders as such. The honorable courts of our country is mature enough and intelligent enough to find out as to whether it is selective or not. If the judiciary of our country feels that it is selective, the judiciary of our country will reprimand the agencies. And they have done it in the past and they will do it again. So let's have faith in the judiciary itself, because final decision has not been given as such so far. I was listening to what Riju was saying. Let me come point-wise. First and foremost, he said, like, our leaders who were accused of scandals in the past 3 years back, nothing has come out of it. Riju, has the decision been given by the court as yet? No. Only if the court gives in a clean sheet to those leaders, then only you can tom-tom around the town saying that, it was a politics of vendetta as such. So wait for the final decision. Second thing is like, when it comes to the question of money coming out from nook and corner of Bengal, the Bengal government has become very famous for three sweets as such. One is Tolabaji, the other one is Kattabaji, and the third one is Rohingya-baji as such. And everyone in Bengal knows this, knows the reality as such, Who doesn't take money from TMC in relation to getting even small jobs done for any ordinary citizen? Everyone knows. Ask in a rickshawala, ask in a autowala, ask in a sabjiwala. He or she will tell in Bengal as such, Now, you were mentioning about Vinay Mishra. As far as I understand it, and if my memory goes sharp enough, and as per the media reports of the past, I think Vinay Mishra used to be a bosom friend of Abhishek Banerjee in the past. There are several media reports which cite in examples that Vinay Mishra used to work for Abhishek Banerjee, and the moment the chit fund case came into highlight, Vinay Mishra fled the country as such. So I think before the Trinamool Congress accuses the Bharatiya Janata Party of shielding in people like Vinay Mishra, the TMC has to answer as to what was the past connection of Abhishek Banerjee with Vinay Mishra. That is something which the nation want to know. Second thing is, like, if your leaders are so holy than cow, then why is it that your activist of your party sends in threatening letters to the judges asking that if you don't give a bail to Anubrita Mandal, your family will be exterminated and you will be killed and you will face in dire consequence? Was there not a letter given to the honorable judge of the Supreme Court?
This is absolute nonsense what he's saying.
What
is talking is there is no iota of truth in this.
I haven't completed.
Okay, Nilanjan wants to come in. Nilanjan wants to come in. SK Datta, hold on. Nilanjan wants to take it. Nilanjan, a specific question here is also, apart from you responding to SK Datta, I also want you to respond. The fact of the matter is that irrespective of who the searches are being carried out, at whose premises the searches are being carried out, should we or should we really not act upon corruption? And the fact that these agencies are acting on evidence that they've gathered, should that not be at least welcomed? The fact that at least there is a war on corruption that's taking place.
No, Shravan, there is no war on corruption that's taking place. There is corruption. We have seen, you believe your eyes, I believe my eyes. We have seen Shubhendu Adhikari taking money in front of the camera, and that has been displayed from the BJP office. So why is action not being taken against Mr. Shubhendu Adhikari?
No one is saying that stop investigation. No one is saying stop investigation as far as Shubhendu is concerned.
There is different. You cannot have different locus.
Every time resorting, one second. It's like every time I'm asking this question to the BJP, they are responding by saying that you go to the, you're free, go ahead, go to the court. Now, when I'm asking this question to the opposition parties, then you seem to be very squeezy. Why are you so queasy about it? Why are you so queasy about the fact that yes, prima facie, when you please tell me, can you see those towers of cash that has been recovered? Now, can you please tell me that it is perhaps white money?
I'm not sure. That is what the investigating agents.
No, 1 second. By saying, does that really take away the fact that is it allowed if others actually have the cash in their residence? Is that the argument?
Shubhendu Adhikari is accused in the Sharoda case. Why is Shubhendu Adhikari not been arrested? Where is the local standi of this investigating agency? They are acting as puppets of the BJP. These investigating agencies, ED, CBI, they are acting as the puppets of the BJP.
Is an MP.
Why it pinches
even though he was
so much?
taking cash?
Shubhendu Adhikari is the leader of opposition.
1 second. SK Datta, don't. There's no point shouting over each other. Nilanjan, why don't you respond? 1 second. Nilanjan, will you continue with this whataboutery? No, 1 second. Nilanjan, do you have a point to make?
Of course I have
the corruption, you are saying, okay, so as I understand, Nilanjan, just correct me if I'm wrong. According to you, the money that has come or recovered from a close associate of Partho Chatterjee is absolutely clean money. It's okay. If you have crores of money inside your house, it's absolutely fine. We should just close our eyes.
An investigator. Shravan, you might be doing this media trial, but I cannot do that. And one learned advocate is sitting here.
No one is doing media trial. Nilanjan.
Of course.
Nilanjan, I don't sit in the drawing room and make those conversations over a cup of tea.
Just talked about having faith in the judiciary.
1 second.
Why can't the media wait? Why can't the media wait and ask for the for speedy justice?
What do you mean? So the media should not report about it. The recoveries. Mr. Nilanjan, what do you want us to do? No, what do you want us to do? No, we are not saying they're guilty. 1 second. No, what are you trying to suggest? What are we trying to suggest? We should, when the leader is getting arrested, when the leader gets arrested and there is cash that is recovered, what should the media say? Oh, look here how beautiful the money is looking right now. It's a beautiful sunny
why
day.
is the media not questioning
Two
why
men
Shubhendu Adhikari
came
is
out in
not
the
being
park.
quizzed
It was
even?
like taking a walk
Why
in
is
Hyde Park in
Shubhendu Adhikari
London.
not
It looks
being
beautiful.
summoned? Why
Is that what you
Mr.
want us to
Abhishek
respond?
Banerjee
Is that what you want us to
repeatedly?
respond?
He just said that he has
Why,
faith in the
Shravan,
judiciary.
tell me why Mr. Abhishek Banerjee
Why shouldn't
is
he
being
be
summoned?
summoned? If there is a suspicion, he should be summoned. No, I don't understand. Nilanjan, you can continue.
Then
When
why
I'm
is
asking
Mr.
you,
Shubhendu
I want
Adhikari is
Priyanka
not
and
been
Riju
summoned?
to come back.
Mr.
Priyanka and
Abhishek
Riju,
Banerjee has
Priyanka and
said-
Riju come.
No,
That's stupid.
please, hear me out.
Correct.
Make some
Shravan,
cogent,
see, it is very, very clear.
Make some coherent remarks, please, Nilanjan. No, I don't understand. If Nilanjan today, no, as I understand, Priyanka and
that is
Riju,
what
please correct
Shravan
me if I'm
saying.
wrong. Are we to, no, Riju does not, at least to be fair to
Why
Riju,
is Mr.
Riju is saying
Shubhendu
that
Adhikari not
it's not that the media
denying
can't
that he
report
has
about
no
it.
links with Vinay Mishra?
Oh, hold on, come on. Don't do this shouting business. When you don't have points to make, don't make this shouting business.
Another
Don't
lady
do that.
is shouting from the background.
Talk on
There is
points.
background noise already.
Shubhendu Adhikari's point, Riju has already made. I've got a response from Priyanka. If you have anything else beyond that, please tell me.
No, Shravan, she has not answered it. Why is Mr. Shubhendu Adhikari not denying the fact that
She
he
has
has
said. She said. One second. She's already pointed
She is
out.
saying that
You
he
have a
has
problem.
I
Go to the
already
court.
answered.
Go to
His
the court.
question has the
No, you have
answer
not answered,
itself.
madam.
He said he has faith
Madam,
on
you
the
have not
judiciary.
answered.
You're not listening to
No.
it.
Oh, listen to me.
Oh, what
you
is-
just said that
Oh, you
when
listen to me.
questioned about their
Why is
leaders, he
Mr.
said he
Shubhendu
has
Adhikari
faith
not
in the
denying it?
judiciary.
Why
He
is
said
Mr.
he will
Shubhendu
wait for
Adhikari
the
not filing a
investigation to
case?
be over. So that
Why-
is the answer.
why is
If
Mr.
there is
Shubhendu
faith
Adhikari
in the
not being-
judiciary, wait for the investigation to be over.
Come on.
Unnecessarily do not
Nilanjan,
cry
can you please
foul.
not- can you
It is
stop
very
shouting?
true that those who are at the
No,
receiving
please
end
stop
will
this
always
shouting
cry
match.
foul. They will
One second,
accuse the
Nilanjan.
agency.
If you have a
They will
point,
accuse the
one
agencies
minute.
of abusing law.
Priyanka, I'm not
Why
letting
is-
this continue.
why-
I'm not letting this continue. 1 second, Nilanjan, I'm not.
have
I
to
will
hear
not
me
let
out
this
in
happen.
silence.
I'm not letting this shouting business to go on. I asked you a specific question. Please respond that. You said Priyanka has not responded. 1 minute. Please don't shout.
Yes.
You said Priyanka has not responded to the allegation that has been leveled against the Bharatiya Janata Party that no action has been taken against Shubhendu Adhikari. As I understand, Priyanka's response primarily was that there is already, you've moved the court has dismissed it, and that is the reason why there is nothing much that has happened. Now, there are a lot more questions that can
There
also
is
be
a
asked on that
moral
part,
standing.
but that is the
For the
response
same
that Priyanka
case, you
gave.
cannot
Priyanka, am I
have
correct?
Two different locus. For the same case, for the same
are you now-
accusation.
are you-
Now,
do
that
you
is
have a
what
problem with what the
unnecessarily
court is saying?
He's trying to cry foul because Shravan, if I'm allowed to speak, please ask him to keep quiet and let me just complete. So when he was questioning, he himself
Okay,
said
Nilanjan, hold on
that
now.
when it is
You want to
about,
respond?
Bobby
You want her to
Hakeem or
respond?
about
You want her to
Shaukat Roy,
respond? Let her
Yes, I
respond.
want her to
Okay,
respond.
Priyanka,
I will answer that.
I want two more. I'm just going to add two more questions to it. 1 minute, Nilanjan, hold on. I want Priyanka to come in and then perhaps Riju can respond also. Priyanka, two more specific questions I'm again and again asking you. Why don't you make this clear once and for all? This is a debate that I've done for several weeks. As a reporter covering the central agencies, I've put out all facts that I have at my disposal in terms of, be it the first videos that were recovered, every possible information within the domain that one can report, we have put out. And no one is, Riju, and let me also tell this to Nilanjan, media is not, at least we at the Republic Media Network, are not carrying out any trial. We are reporting of what we know and what is confirmed. We are not getting into any
Shravan,
speculations,
please show
no
Mr.
conjectures
Shubhendu
in this.
Adhikari taking
But
the
the fact
money.
of the matter is that
Please
these
show
things
it,
have happened. 1 minute, Nilanjan, hold on. Priyanka, now the question to you is this. As far as Shubhendu Adhikari is concerned, Mukul Roy is concerned, now, question here is that they have not been questioned. Their role still remains extremely dubious. And that is the reason why every time any action is being done by the central agencies,
is
you are
wrong.
basically taken to the, dry cleaners by saying that बीजेपी में जो भी आता है उनसे कोई पूछताछ नहीं करते. बीजेपी में जो भी ज्वाइन करते हैं उनसे कोई पूछताछ नहीं किया जाता. Now that's the response that you get every time.
By speaking, which is now that is true, Shravan. Whatever they are saying is completely untrue because when they are questioning Shubhendu Adhikari, when they are questioning Mukul Roy, let me tell you that when Mukul Roy was in BJP, he was called for questioning a number of times and he did go and answered whatever questions were asked to him during the investigation. Now when they are questioning, he himself said that, about Shaugat Rai and Kakuli Ghosh Dastidar and Bobby Hakim, he said that he has faith in the judiciary. He said he has faith in the investigation. So when spoken about their party leaders, he has that faith on the judiciary. So he should continue with that same faith for Shwendu Adhikari as well. We are not saying anything. We are also saying that the investigation is in process.
Why is Shwendu
Now
Adhikari
when they were
not being
questioning about the
questioned?
CBI
That is a
working,
clear
and
question.
they were suggesting...
Nilanjan, please don't do this.
Nilanjan.
No, Nilanjan, did I ask you to
joined
respond?
between.
No, one second,
You were
Nilanjan, did I ask you to respond?
When they were
she was doing the same
suggesting
thing.
that CBI
She has a
should
habit of
continue with the
disturbing in
investigation and finish it in a year, I will say that CBI has a way of working.
You
see whether
answer
it
why
was case
Mr.
of Lalu
Shwendu
Prasad
Adhikari is
Yadav
not being
or
questioned.
Jayalalitha. Many other cases,
She
many
cannot
other
answer. We cannot allow
cases,
this
many
blabbering
other
to continue
cases,
on
it
national
took
television.
time and now they are behind bars. So the similar
Okay,
thing will
can I have
happen. See, now
Riju? Okay,
those who are
Priyanka,
trying
you've
to
made your
out
point.
are
Priyanka,
the
you've
people
made your
who
point.
are at the
No, she has
receiving
not
end.
made her point. I will not. No, I cannot accept this. She has not answered why
One second,
Mr.
Nilanjan,
Shwendu
1
Adhikari
minute.
has not
Who is
been
I want
this
Riju to come in.
This is a clear
Riju,
question.
no, 1 minute.
Who is this
Hold on,
nonsense?
Nilanjan,
Who
please,
is
let's not
following
do this.
Talking nonsense.
Nilanjan,
You
the
are
entire
talking
debate,
nonsense.
no, 1 second.
You
The
are
entire
talking
debate,
nonsense.
no one was really shouting at each other. I don't want this to happen.
See, actually,
Riju,
every day
Riju,
when they are seen taking money
the last,
and going behind
okay,
the jail,
Priyanka, just complete your point because I'm also running short of time. I want Riju to also come in as the last word to come in. Okay, Riju, you've heard all the panelists.
Yes, Shravan, please.
We have taken almost all questions. We've asked this question. The allegation time and again that is leveled is that we are not asking this question of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We've also asked that question to the Bharatiya Janata Party. She's already responded as far as Shwendu Adhikari is concerned. Now, one last question that I want to ask you, and that is, do you or do you not welcome the fact that there is an investigation that's being carried out? And second, why wait till the time the Central Bureau of Investigation steps in or the Enforcement Directorate steps in? As far as the SSC scam is concerned, you had enough time to act on your own before the CBI could have done anything as far as the SSC recruitment scam is concerned, because the Calcutta High Court had made it very clear as far as Poresh Adhikari is concerned, several others who are concerned. So the problem here, Riju, the perception that one is getting is that the Trinamool Congress seems to be on the back foot the moment there is the Enforcement Directorate or the CBI steps in. Why don't you take an action on your own? You are the party in power. You exactly know what's really happening, whether there is a corruption or there is no corruption. You should have acted upon it even before the ED or the CBI because of the Calcutta High Court.
Thank you, Shravan. And, I had written down a lot of points to counter some Mr. Datta that you've got hold of, SK Datta, but I'm not going to glorify him. So I'm just going to say the fact here is we welcome an investigation into corruption. But
the arrogance.
In the previous regime, the Supreme Court said that the central agencies have become caged parrots. And now I don't know who's this person. Is this a personal relative of Priyanka Tibrewal?
Okay, SK Datta, I'll give you the chance. Mr. Datta, I'll give you the chance. Mr. Datta, SK Datta, I'll give you the chance to respond. But Riju, quickly make your point because I'm really running short of time also. Quick. No, 1 second, Riju, this is not done.
The central
this is not done. Please don't do this.
What? Sir, you expect
Priyanka, hold on. Riju, just make your point. Complete your point.
Saying one lie after the other against a people's mandates government, and you
have the chance to respond.
Take it and glorify some person, random person here on this panel. My point here is very simple. The central agencies are acting as puppets of BJP. Priyanka Tibrewal, your boss got 213 slaps and went back to Delhi. And in 1 month, you contested 2 elections and you double engine, you lost by 58,000 votes. So don't blabber on TV. You have lost 2 elections in 1 month by 58,000 margin. Don't blabber. First win a panchayat election, then talk about Trinamool Congress.
that people
Okay,
like you deserve.
you have
even a
lost
ticket.
2
That's
elections.
the
You are
reason
the
they have
Guinness
kept
Book
you
of
here
World
for
Records
blabbering on
holder
the
in
television.
India.
So continue with
2
your blabber.
elections in 1 month by a margin of 58,000.
You will,
So please,
you will not
so
get the
please do
chance
not
in your
act
life to
rich.
contest an election.
All the chores
You will
and
never get a
decades are in
chance.
your
So just
party.
blabber and do what you are fit to do.
Introspect, get rid of all the corrupts.
Decades are going to the jail.
Get rid of all
your
the
uncles
corrupts.
are going to the jail.
Is it untrue
All the
that
brothers of your auntie are going to the
30%
jail.
of the
Now,
union
I'm really running short of time. Priyanka Tibrewal, okay. Both of you, calm down. Now, we don't have much time anymore. Now, we have tried taking on all questions right now. In fact, Riju and Priyanka, this is expected to just even keep intensifying with the way the central agencies are essentially acting right now in the state of West Bengal. But the questions still remain. Forget about the political slugfest that is going on. Just as a common public, everyone is going to raise this entire question as to where exactly is the money coming from? Whom is it really linked to? Yes, the investigation should take place. Yes, they should come to a conclusion. And if found guilty, then the stringent of punishment should be meted out, and that is perhaps the purview of the court itself. Thank you very much, Priyanka Tibrewal, Pratim Ranjan Bose, SK Datta, Riju Datta, Shubhankar Bhattacharya, as well as Nilanjan Das for joining us on the burning question.
Burning question.
Amity University in London, accredited by Quality Assurance Agency UK and licensed by the Government of UK, offers MBA and BBA degrees at its central London campus. Embark on a global career with a globally recognized UK university degree. To apply, visit amity.edu/London.
सोच का मंथन, विचारों का समागम, इतिहास लिखेंगे हम। राष्ट्रीय सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
Another high-octane India versus Pakistan clash in sports news is set for today, as both arch rivals will be looking to make the best of their opening Super 4 match of Asia Cup. India heads into the Super 4 with a clean record. They were on the top of the table with 2 wins in 2 matches and 4 points. Pakistan finished second with 1 win in 2 matches and 2 points.
चुनौतियों से नहीं डरते हम, दुनिया ने देखा है हमारा दम, दुश्मनों को करके बेदम, राष्ट्रहित में बढ़ते कदम। राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
सच हमने दिखाया, सच आपने देखा, हमारी पहचान उम्मीदों की रेखा, आपके भरोसे से हमारे काम का लेखा। राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन। आप पहचानते हैं, जानते हैं हमें, तभी तो अपना मानते हैं हमें। आर भारत के साथ भारत का समय। राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
India all-rounder Ravindra Jadeja likely to miss the T20 World Cup in Australia as he undergoes knee surgery. The surgery is expected to keep him out of action for an indefinite period of time. The T20 World Cup begins in Australia from the 16th of next month.
So he's injured his knee, but obviously he's ruled out for the
Businessman Cyrus Mistry no more, passes away near Mumbai at the age of 54. Cyrus Mistry and a co-passenger loses his life in a car accident near Palghar. 2 more co-passengers shifted to hospital. People from all walks of life, the topmost echelons of governance and politics to business leaders, express their condolences at the demise of Cyrus Mistry.
सोच का मंथन, विचारों का समागम, इतिहास लिखेंगे हम। राष्ट्रीय सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
A Dalit student was allegedly locked up in a classroom and beaten with a metal rod by his teacher after he touched his motorcycle. The teacher has been reported to be suspended following the incident. This is an incident and another high-octane India versus Pakistan clash in sports news is set for today as both arch-rivals will be looking to make the best of their opening Super 4 match of Asia Cup. India heads into the Super 4 with a clean record. They were on the top of the table with 2 wins in 2 matches and 4 points. Pakistan finished second with 1 win in 2 matches and 2 points. India all-rounder Ravindra Jadeja likely to miss the T20 World Cup in Australia as he undergoes knee surgery. The surgery is expected to keep him out of action for an indefinite period of time. The T20 World Cup begins in Australia from the 16th of next month.
So he's injured his knee, but obviously he's ruled out for the Asia Cup. Yeah, he's under the care of the medical team. He's going to see the doctors. He's going to see the experts, and the World Cup is a fair way away, so we don't want to jump to any conclusions and rule him out or rule him in. We'll see how it goes. This is part of sport. People get injured.
विचारों का लहराता समंदर, रिपब्लिक भारत पर जल्द राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
Major protests scheduled to be undertaken by the Congress at the Ram Leela Maidan in Delhi, with the demonstration against price rise termed the Mehengai Par.
A mega crackdown on cattle smuggling case in Uttar Pradesh has taken place. In an encounter, Uttar Pradesh's police arrested 5 cattle smugglers from Moradabad district. Arrests come after police in an encounter held these cattle smugglers carrying a calf in a luxury car. 2 cattle smugglers were injured during the encounter in Moradabad.
सूचना पहले से थी कि इस तरीके की कोई घटना हो सकती है, तो उन्होंने बाकी बचे हुए फोर्स को बुलाया। दोनों पक्षों के बीच मुठभेड़ हुई है। मुठभेड़ के दौरान जब उसमें 2 लोग घायल हुए हैं और 3 लोगों को मौके से गिरफ्तार किया गया है। ये गौ तस्कर बताए जा रहे हैं और इसमें आगे भी हमारी कार्रवाई प्रचलित।
ब्यूरो रिपोर्ट, रिपब्लिक टीवी।
The ambulance has been replaced with a police van.
काले झंडे जो हैं वो दिखाए जा रहे हैं और सीधे तौर पर कहना है कि एक तरफ अंकिता के साथ अन्याय होता है।
India all-rounder Ravindra Jadeja likely to miss the T20 World Cup in Australia as he undergoes knee surgery. The surgery is expected to keep him out of action for an indefinite period of time. The T20 World Cup begins in Australia from the 16th of next month.
So he's injured his knee, but obviously he's ruled out for the Asia Cup. He's under the care of the medical team. He's going to see the doctors. He's going to see the experts, and the World Cup is a fair way away, so we don't want to jump to any conclusions and rule him out or rule him in. We'll see how it goes. This is part of sport. People get injured.
देश प्रेम का ज्वार, राष्ट्रवादी विचार, रिपब्लिक भारत तैयार, राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
The curtain raiser event of the 36th National Games will be held at the EKA Arena Trans Stadium in Ahmedabad today evening. In the presence of Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel and Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Thakur will also be present during the event.
विचारों का लहराता समंदर, रिपब्लिक भारत पर जल्द राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
Major protests scheduled to be undertaken by the Congress at the Ram Leela Maidan in Delhi, with the demonstration against price rise termed the Mehengai Par Halla Bol rally.
मुश्किलों को करते नाकाम, जनहित हमारा काम, देश का सम्मान, राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
In Uttar Pradesh, the Jammu and Kashmir.
Viewers, top headlines right now. Businessman Cyrus Mistry no more passes away near Mumbai at the age of 54. People from all walks of life, the topmost echelons of governance and politics to business leaders, express their condolences to family and friends of Cyrus Mistry. After the teacher scam, another cash stash seizure in Bengal. Over 1.4 crore rupees recovered in cash. The Bengal raids get bigger after cash bust. Now a narco angle emerges and CID probe. Big BJP Congress face off over inflation after Rahul Gandhi's Atta leader comment. BJP schools the Congress MP. Delhi crime branch arrests Afghanistan national with a 4 kilogram heroin worth 20 crore rupees. Links to big international drug syndicate established. Bangladesh PM Sheikh Hasina to embark on a 4-day visit to India starting Monday. Viewers, the big story right now, former chairman of Tata Sons Cyrus Mistry has died in a road accident on Sunday in Maharashtra's Palghar district. The Mercedes, which had Mistry and 3 others on board, reportedly crashed into a divider on a bridge on the river there. And senior politicians and industry leaders have expressed shock over the untimely demise of the business tycoon. Ankit and Alisha joining me live. I want to go across to you, Alisha, first. Give us a quick update about what can we expect next right now in this accident which had taken place. His mortal remains are being brought back to Mumbai.
Well, yes, Shivangi, we know that mortal remains of Cyrus Mistry and the other person who died in the road accident will be brought to the JJ hospital where we have been reporting for. Here that the police has been deployed. As of now, they are not allowing inside anyone because they have been barricaded and well, they will be brought here. The mortal remains of Cyrus Mistry will be brought in the JJ hospital for post-mortem and later will be taken at his residence in Malabar Hill. And even what we have been told that the final rites is going to take place tomorrow. Importantly, the information that we have gathered from our sources and police that the RTO has already taken the vehicle for a thorough investigation. Moreover, the forensic experts from Kalina laboratory has reached to the location and they have been taking all the samples. They have been collecting samples to ascertain what exactly the cause of the accident, because this accident which happened at around 3:50 p.m. in the afternoon, where the prima facie, according to the police, that the prima facie that the driver who lost the control and the car that backed the divider, after which the 2 people who were the survivor are the one who were sitting in the front with the seat belt on, whereas Cyrus Mistry, who was sitting at the rear seat, has died in this unfortunate incident that happened. And we know that the first, both the mortal remains were put up to the district hospital in Palghar, whereas the people who have been injured, the co-passengers, there are 2 people who have been injured, severely injured, and their health has been known to be critical. They are admitted in Rainbow Hospital in Vapi, where the treatment is underway. And right after looking at the situation overnight, tomorrow morning there will be a decision that will be taken to airlift both the passengers who are the one who has been severely injured. But as of now, the mortal remains has already left from the district hospital in Palghar, and they will be brought here in JJ hospital for the post-mortem.
All right, Alicia, I want to quickly go across to Ankit as well, who had, in fact, earlier reported from the residence of Cyrus Mistry. Ankit, where are you right now, and what can we expect next in this tragic accident which has taken place earlier today near Palghar?
We are just a couple of minutes away from the residence of Cyrus Mistry at the Breach Candy Hospital, and the reason we are here is that we received an input that the two co-passengers who survived the crash, Shivangi, the two of them who did not perish, after they are stabilized, they may be airlifted to the Breach Candy Hospital. For the moment, the hospital is not confirming that, but our inputs are from Vapi Rainbow Hospital, where they are currently tell us that they are stable, but their condition still remains critical, and that they have sustained multiple injuries as well. And so if felt necessary, and if they are able to, then they may be airlifted and brought to Mumbai in order to give them further treatment. But for the moment, there are two hospitals in Mumbai that may be the destinations of two each people who were part of the crash. The two who are deceased, including Cyrus Mistry, at the JJ hospital where Alicia is reporting, and at the Breach Candy hospital, the two co-passengers who survived the crash. At the Cyrus Mistry residence where we were reporting, there was a continuous inflow of close family and friends, or that is what the security staff told us, because people would not stop. The gate would open and they would head inside, and we did not see many people coming out of there. So it remains to be seen whether they were there to be with the family at this very difficult time. The last rites, like Alicia said, are to take place tomorrow, and there are a number of members of the Mistry family, we are told, who are abroad for a function, and so it may take them some time to come back as well. But certainly there was an element of somberness and grief over there. Not much was being said, the gates were shut, and so we really remain to find out what exactly had transpired and what will be the fate of the other two people who were involved in this car accident.
Okay, Ankit, thank you for getting those updates. Keeping us updated with the next happenings which will happen where you are. I want to go across to Sandeep from Palghar. Sandeep has been tracking the story very closely from the district hospital. Sandeep, the hospital has said that the injured first were treated at that district hospital, and then they were taken to a hospital in Gujarat. Take us through exactly what can we expect next. We know that from where you are, that was a location where the mortal remains of Cyrus Mistry had left and made their way to Mumbai.
See, Shivangi, we are at the Ahmedabad-Mumbai highway, and this is the location, and just few kilometers away from here, the Surya River bridge is there, and in fact that was the very bridge wherein the Mercedes car wherein Cyrus Mistry, including rest 3 people, were traveling with the Mistry from Ahmedabad. Now, when we spoke to several police officers and the local out here, they informed us that while you come from Ahmedabad, the highway is broad, and as soon as the bridge of Surya River starts, the road gets narrow, and that is the only reason that they believe that possibly the car would be in a high speed, and the driver might have lost the control, and hence, as the road got narrow there, the car hit the divider, and unfortunately 4 people who were traveling in the car, 2 of them lose their lives, including Cyrus Mistry, and 2 were treated first at sub-district hospital at Kasa region in Palghar district, and later they were taken to Vapi's Rainbow Hospital. Now, one of the most important thing that I observed while inspecting the car is that, the airbags were not there in the rear seat, that is the seats behind, back seat. In fact, there were not any airbags, and in fact the airbags were there on the front seat, and in fact the car was in such a deadly situation, or a deadly condition, in fact. So it was the blood stains were there in the car, in fact. So definitely yes, at this point of time what we have we believe that there could be several reasons for this accident, but yes, an investigation is in fact ordered by the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, had in fact ordered thorough investigation in this matter, and a team has been in fact formed by Palghar police to investigate this matter too. So definitely things will come out and in upcoming days, and we will have to see what could be the possible reasons. But yes, as of now we have lost a business tycoon, someone who has given a lot of things to India, whether it is employment, and he was in news for several other reasons as well. But yes, Cyrus Mistry has lost his life. Brutal accident that took place at Ahmedabad Mumbai highway. Back to you, Shwangi.
All right. Thank you for getting those updates, Sandeep, and trust you to keep us ahead on the story. Also, let's have a listen in to an eyewitness who was present at the spot and what they saw with their own eyes.
जो लेडी के साइड में, ड्राइव सीट के साइड में बैठे थे, वो भी उसमें थे, उनको भी लग गया था।
एयर बैग की वजह से वो दोनों बच गए।
हाँ, एयर बैग की वजह से।
पीछे से जो लोगों को निकाला था वो बिल्कुल मतलब
नहीं, वो तो समझो एक उसमें से जो ऑफ ही हो गया था, समझो उधर ही, और एक थोड़ा बहुत था ऐसा बस।
और अच्छा, ठीक है। ये तकरीबन कितने बजे की घटना है कुछ?
लगभग 2:30 बजे तक।
Business tycoon and former Tata Sons chairman Cyrus Mistry died in a car accident today in Palghar near Maharashtra. Cyrus Mistry, along with 3 other people, they were returning from a Parsi temple in Udvara when they met with that fateful accident. Another co-passenger has died while 2 others are undergoing treatment. Here is a full report on the life of the business tycoon.
Old Cyrus Mistry, the former chairman of Tata Sons, was killed in a road accident near Palghar while travelling from Ahmedabad to Mumbai.
3 बजे अहमदाबाद से मुंबई जाने वाले रोड पे सूर्या रिवर के ऊपर का जो ब्रिज है, वो ब्रिज के डिवाइडर पे डैश होके मर्सिडीज गाड़ी का एक्सीडेंट हुआ है। उसमें 4 लोग सवार थे, उसमें से 2 लोग स्पॉट पे ही मृत घोषित किए गए, और बाकी के जो 2 लोग थे वो जख्मी है, उनको रेनबो हॉस्पिटल में शिफ्ट किया गया है, जो अभी भी है।
Son of the business tycoon Palonji Mistry, who is credited to have built half of Mumbai, Cyrus Mistry's entry into business was only imminent. After graduating from London's Imperial College in Civil Engineering, Cyrus Mistry soon involved himself in the Shapurji Palonji Group's construction business, where he was credited for taking the company to new heights. Before taking over Tata Group as a chairman, he had risen to the level of a director in other companies like Forbes Gokuk, United Motors India and Shapurji Palonji and Company. A towering personality and a businessman of mettle, he was directly handed over the reins of Tata Group in December 2012 after Ratan Tata's retirement, and created history to become the second person from outside the Tata family to head the group in 142 years. He left an indelible mark during his 4-year tenure as chairman of Tata Sons, with the group recording a 10% increase in cash and equivalent assets and expansion of Tata Group into defence sector. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was among the many who expressed condolences. Chairman of RPG Enterprises Harsh Goenka, Chairman of Mahindra Group Anand Mahindra, and many others who worked, interacted and looked up to Mistry mourned his demise. His untimely demise has shocked many. A trailblazing contributor to the Indian economy, Cyrus Mistry's tragic demise has left a gaping hole in the business sector in particular, and all of India at large.
As the business world and politicians come together to pay tributes to business tycoon Cyrus Mistry, our next report gets you more details on what exactly happened in those last few seconds ahead of his death in the tragic car accident.
At about 3:15 p.m. on Sunday, 4th September 2022, a road accident led to the tragic demise of acclaimed business tycoon and former Tata Sons chairman Cyrus Mistry. The accident took place on a bridge over the Surya River near Palghar when Cyrus Mistry and 3 others were travelling from Gujarat to Mumbai in a Mercedes car.
3 बजे अहमदाबाद से मुंबई जाने वाले रोड पे सूर्या रिवर के ऊपर का जो ब्रिज है, वो ब्रिज के डिवाइडर पे डैश होके मर्सिडीज गाड़ी का एक्सीडेंट हुआ। उसमें 4 लोग सवार थे, उसमें से 2 लोग स्पॉट पे ही मृत घोषित किए गए और बाकी के जो 2 लोग थे वो जख्मी है, उनको रेनबो हॉस्पिटल में शिफ्ट किया गया है, जो वापी में है।
Cyrus Mistry died in a road accident at Charoti in Palghar. When his Mercedes car was returning from Ahmedabad to Mumbai. The accident took place on the bridge of the Surya River. 2 other persons injured in the accident has been hospitalized. The car banked the divider. According to the police, Cyrus Mistry was sitting on the rear seat. The 2 people that survived were sitting in front with the seat belts on.
Following the accident, Cyrus Mistry's mortal remains were taken to a government hospital in Kasa, while the 2 survivors, Anahita Pandole and Darius Pandole, have been rushed to a hospital in Vapi.
In Vapi, the co-passengers who had been present in that same SUV car with Cyrus Mistry when this entire accident took place have also been admitted in the Vapi Rainbow Hospital, and they were in critical condition is the latest that we had gotten to know. In fact, they had been rushed directly into surgery when they had been brought from Palghar where the accident had taken place to Vapi in the Vapi Rainbow Hospital.
જ્યારે આ સમાચાર આજે મળ્યા અને સવારના તો મને મળીને ગયા ઈરાનશાહમાં ઉડવાડામાં દર્શન કરીને, ત્યારે મને આ કોમને અને પારસી સમાજને ઘણો મોટો આઘાત लाग्यो છે। અમે દુઆ કરીએ કે ઈરાનશાહ એમના વાઈફને અને એમના બચ્ચાઓને અને એના માતાજીને અને એના ભાઈને એટલી હિંમત આપે કે આટલો મોટો આઘાત ખમવાની।
The mortal remains of the business tycoon are expected to be brought back to Mumbai soon.
There were 3 others in the car with him and 2 of them are injured. 1 other person has passed away. This behind me is the residence of the Mistrys. It is located in Malabar Hill in Mumbai, and we have seen every now and then a family member drive in by car. They are keeping close wraps on it. Like we've said, it is a somber time for the family, of course. Only really near and dear ones are coming in right now, we are told. Of course, it's important to note that the mortal remains of Cyrus Mistry are not here yet. They are still in Palghar. At some point, they are likely to be brought back to Mumbai, and then perhaps at this house when we'll see a number of people maybe come and visit and pay their last respects. But it is a tragic day for India. It is a tragic day for the Indian economy and Indian businesses.
All of India mourns this tragic loss. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
In a mega exclusive, Republic has accessed key details of the multi-nation drug syndicate and the big Afghanistan connection. The Gujarat ATS along with Delhi crime branch has arrested an Afghanistan national named Wahiullah Rahimullah Khan with 4 kilograms heroin worth 20 crore rupees in the international market. Here are the mega exclusive details.
1 year after the Mudra drug bust, the crackdown is only getting bigger, with Gujarat anti-terror squad arresting an Afghan national with 4 kg of heroin worth rupees 20 crore from the Vasant Kunj area in the national capital. The accused has been identified as Wahiullah Rahimullah.
The Gujarat ATS along with the Delhi crime branch have arrested 1 Afghani national with 4 kgs of heroin worth 20 crores in the international market, who was in fact an Afghani national who had come on a medical visa to the country, and he had been arrested from the Delhi NCR region itself. And the Gujarat ATS had been working on specific inputs from the Surat police, and with the help of the Delhi crime branch, they have taken him into custody, and further investigation of his link to the international drug cartel that had also smuggled drugs via the Gujarat ports as well is being carried out.
The ATS had this to say about this mega global drug syndicate.
वहीदुल्ला रहीमी नाम से एक अफगानी आदमी है जो कि दिल्ली NCR एरिया के अंदर ड्रग्स का मोटे प्रमाण में बिजनेस कर रहा है। इन्होंने एक इन्फॉर्मेशन दी स्पेसिफिक कि 2 तारीख रात को 11 साढ़े 11 के आसपास ये वसंतपुर विस्तार टेरी इंस्टीट्यूट के आसपास बड़ी मात्रा में जत्था लेकर के आने वाला है। इस इन्फॉर्मेशन के आधार पर DYSP BH चावड़ा, PI SN परमार, PI BH कोराट, PSI SK ओडेद्रा और सूरत सिटी क्राइम ब्रांच के PSI VA डोडिया, इनकी एक संयुक्त टीम बनाई गई। गुजरात ATS की ये टीम दिल्ली रवाना हुई। दिल्ली में दिल्ली क्राइम ब्रांच के अधिकारियों को इन्होंने साथ में रखा और एक जॉइंट ऑपरेशन को अंजाम दिया। इस ऑपरेशन के तहत जो इन्फॉर्मेशन मिली थी वो ठीक निकली। इन्फॉर्मेशन वाली जगह से वहीदुल्ला रहीमी की अरेस्ट की गई। उसके पास से तथा उसकी जो इंट्रोगेशन उसका किया गया, उससे जो आगे सीजर्स हुए तो कुल मिला के लगभग 4 किलो हीरोइन का सीजर अभी तक किया गया है।
The Gujarat ATS and Delhi Crime Branch are in hot pursuit of the international drug syndicate. A case under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act has also been registered. More sensational leads in Tehit drug crackdown are expected very, very soon. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Viewers, the Central Investigation Department conducted raids at the residence of a businessman in West Bengal's Malda today. From the raids on the businessman, identified as Jaiprakash Saha, stacks and stacks of unaccounted cash have been recovered, more than 1.4 crore to be exact. But as more and more cash piles are recovered in Bengal, right from SSE scam raids to now this Malda raid, one wonders to how and where has this cash come from and who does this cash belong to, and if there is a political nexus to this raid as well. Well, here's a full report on that.
Hoards of cash recovered during ED raids at the premises of Partha Chatterjee's aide 2 months ago, and now stacks of cash recovered by the CID in Malda. The West Bengal Criminal Investigation Department on Sunday seized a large amount of cash amounting to 1.4 crore rupees from the residence of a fish vendor in West Bengal's Malda district.
Now in Malda, the CID has conducted a raid in Malda in the place of Jaiprakash Saha. Now, who is Jaiprakash Saha? Jaiprakash Saha is a fish vendor. Now, how can someone has this amount of money? What is the amount that 1 crore and 40 lakhs rupees they got in the home of Jaiprakash Saha?
From the raids on the businessman identified as Jaiprakash Saha, stacks and stacks of unaccounted cash have been recovered. While an investigation is underway to find out the source of the money trail and how he had amassed the wealth, police are also investigating the narco-terror angle.
Now, what is the connection of this amount with the fish vendor? The CID has said that he has a direct connection in Bangladesh and there is a connection of narco also.
It must be noted that the Bengal raids are witnessing a huge amount of cash recoveries, be it piles of crores recovered from searches linked to SSE scam or the latest from Malda. As the investigation is underway and till no political connection has come up, one wonders if there is a political nexus in the Malda case.
CBI conducted raid in West Bengal, and what happened after that? They arrested Anubrata Mondal, the heavyweight leader of Trinamool Congress. They also arrested Raju Sahani. He is the Hali Sahar municipal chairman. ED conducted raid in West Bengal. They arrested Partha Chattopadhyay. He was the minister of West Bengal. And after that, CID raided in West Bengal, and they arrested Jaiprakash Saha, a fish vendor. Now, who is the next in West Bengal? With Sanjay Naya, this is Rita Basu reporting for Republic, Kolkata.
The Central Bureau of Investigation raided several locations in North 24 Parganas, including the residence of Bijpur TMC MLA Subodh Adhikari in connection to the Hali Shahar Municipality Chairman chit fund scam. A CBI delegation also visited the house of Kamal Adhikari, brother of Subodh Adhikari and the chairman of the Kachrapara municipality. Here's more on that.
Trouble continues to mount for the Trinamool Congress in West Bengal. The Central Bureau of Investigation has now reached the residence of another TMC leader, Subodh Adhikari, in the Bijpur locality of Kancharappa municipality. In early morning action taken in connection with the ongoing investigation in a chit fund case, multiple searches are being carried out across the state at 7 locations, including Kolkata and Hali Sheher. While CBI teams are searching 6 premises linked to Subodh Adhikari, sources suggest that the residence of Kachrappa municipality chairman Kamal Adhikari is also being searched by the central agency team. The raids come at a time when the CBI has been probing the Ponzi chit fund schemes that tubed lakh of depositors in West Bengal and neighbouring state Odisha. An FIR in connection with the scheme was also lodged by the CBI's Economic Offences Unit in 2018. The CBI searches also come just a day after the CBI arrested another TMC leader, Raju Sahani, on Friday. Sahani, who is the chairman of the Hali Sheher municipality, was taken into CBI custody in an alleged chit fund case. The CBI also recovered Rs 80 lakh in cash, recovered along with the details of accounts traced in foreign banks and property documents worth Rs 2.75 crores from his residence. This comes as names of TMC leaders continue to surface in multiple scams from the state. Senior party leaders including Partha Chatterjee and Anuprata Mondal are already in ED custody after they were arrested in the teacher recruitment scam and cattle smuggling cases. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Another shocking remark has been made by Jharkhand CM Hemant Soren, this time over the death of a minor girl in Dumka district whose body was found hanging to a tree. Soren said incidents like these happen, where do they not occur? That's what he said. This after he had made a similar comment at the death of Ankita Kumar, who was set on fire by a stalker. Here is a full report.
Jharkhand Chief Minister once again trivialized incidents of assaults against women in his state. As the Chief Minister stays unapologetic over rising number of crimes against women in Jharkhand, he reiterated that such incidents keep happening. Listen to how the head of the state indicates assaults and crime on women as common happenings.
घटनाएं तो होती रहती है, घटनाएं कहाँ नहीं होती, घटना तो बोल के आता नहीं है। इसको किस तरीके से लिया जाए? आज के दिन में कितने राज्य में घटना घटी है, इसका आंकड़ा आपके पास है क्या? अगर जानकारी ना हो तो अननेसेसरी चीजों को दिग्भ्रमित आप लोगों के माध्यम से ना हो, मेरी आप लोगों से गुजारिश।
His latest comments came after a 14-year-old tribal girl was allegedly sexually exploited by a man on the pretext of marriage and was found hanging from a tree in Jharkhand's Dumka district. Meanwhile, following 2 back-to-back incidents of assault on minor girls in the state, BJP has slammed the Hemant Soren's government.
जो सोरेन परिवार दुमका का बादशाह है रहा, जिसने सोरेन परिवार को सोरेन परिवार बनाया, उसके लिए संवेदना के लिए एक शब्द मुख्यमंत्री के पास नहीं था। मुख्यमंत्री ने आप ही पत्रकारों को कहा कि छोटी-मोटी घटना राज्य में होती रहती है।
Few days back, a minor girl was set ablaze by accused Shahrukh. After struggling for 5 days, she succumbed to her injuries on August 28. Shahrukh, along with an accomplice, has been arrested. Back-to-back incidents in Dumka has shocked the entire country, but what is more shocking is the way how Soren government is shrugging it off. Moreover, it must be noted that his comments come at a time when his government is struggling and he has to face trust vote on assembly floor tomorrow. But how do the people of Jharkhand take his repeated unapologetic comments and go slow attitude on crimes in the state needs to be seen. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
मुश्किलों को करते नाकाम, जनहित हमारा काम, देश का सम्मान, राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
In Uttar Pradesh, the Jammu and Kashmir Election Commission has called for an all-party meet in order to clear doubts with regard to the new voter rules being introduced in the Union Territory. Tabarak Hussain, a Fidayeen suicide attacker from POK, captured by the army on the 21st of August at the LOC in Rajouri, died due to a cardiac arrest. Ghulam Nabi Azad is all set to begin his political journey afresh from Jammu as all preparations for his first rally in the city are complete. He is further expected to deliberate with other members of his future party over the party's name. Jammu and Kashmir Apni Party Chief Syed Mohammad Altaf Bukhari expected to meet Jammu and Kashmir's LG Manoj Sinha with reported demands for the restoration of Jammu and Kashmir's statehood. Another serious senior Congress leader from Jammu and Kashmir, Ashok Sharma, resigns from the party, calling the exit a result of a painful decision due to the prevailing situation and unavoidable circumstances.
उन्नति का पथ, उम्मीदों का रथ, सत्य की शपथ, हम हैं रिपब्लिक भारत, राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
The ambulance has been replaced with a police van.
यदि लक्ष्य दुरंत है, यात्राएं दिगंत है, समंदर और चुनौतियां अनंत है, भारत का उत्तर है विक्रांत। समंदर की ये लहरें आह्वान कर रही है, अमर्त्य वीर पुत्र हो, दृढ़ प्रतिज्ञ सो चलो, प्रशस्त पुण्य पंथ है, बढ़े चलो, बढ़े चलो, बढ़े चलो।
There's an old saying in the Navy that ships don't die, they just fade away only to be reborn again. And behold, behind me is INS Vikrant. Let's take a look inside this mean machine, the greatest ever engineering marvel that Indian Defence Forces have made. Welcome on board with Republic TV to India's indigenous aircraft carrier INS Vikrant, built at the Cochin shipyard. I am on board the hangar of INS Vikrant. Now, what you see behind me, this is the largest compartment of the aircraft carrier. Right now, it holds the MiG-29K and the Camov 31 over here. But the talks are going on with the government of France as well as US, whether it's the Hornet that is going to deck these this particular hangar or it's a French-made Rafale. All that needs to be seen. But what is exciting is that this particular hangar can hold up to 30 aircrafts, and that is the largest compartment of INS Vikrant. And joining me is Lieutenant Shailesh, who will speak more about it, about this particular hangar. So, could you tell us, like, the importance of the hangar of aircraft carrier?
This is the biggest compartment of this aircraft carrier, and it has been designed to accommodate both fighters and helicopters. Our operational day starts with the fighters going to the flight deck. For this purpose, we have got lifts where the aircrafts are brought from hangar to the lift, and then these lifts take the aircraft to the flight deck where these are being readied for the operations.
So, ideally, how much time does it take for this entire, like for instance, if there is a situation where a flight has to be taken on deck, how much time does it take?
See, it depends upon how the crew has been trained. Now this is a new aircraft carrier, and the crew which is on board is being trained on the operation. Like the operation involves taking this both fighters and helicopters from hangar to flight deck. So people are being trained. So eventually, as they progress, the time reduces.
Lieutenant Shailesh, I want to know, how does it feel that when you are in charge of this hangar? How does it feel?
I feel very energized as I'm being part of the commissioning crew of this aircraft carrier, and as you know, this is indigenous carrier, and it has been built for a value of around 20,000 crores, and I feel very proud to be a part of it.
So what can we expect in 30 aircrafts, and whether it's ALH? Could you tell us a little bit about what kind of capacity, what kind of aircrafts and helicopters can be here, or it's likely to be here, whether it's a Chetak, or could you tell us more about it?
As of now, we have got one MiG-29K and one Commo 30 on board, and these has been brought for the aviation facility complex trials. So at the later stage, when this ship gets operational fully, we'd be getting more craft like MS-60R is already inducted into the Navy, and F-18 Hornets and Rafale have already been tested by the Navy. Now that government has to decide which aircraft out of these two will be inducted in the Navy, and this will eventually come on this carrier.
The kitchen of an aircraft carrier is called as a galley, and we are at the galley of INS Vikrant, where the food served to 1,700 staff has all been done over here. As you can see around me, the kind of automation, the technology that has been adopted to ensure that food reaches the crew members of the ship. It's fascinating, it's critical, it's also pertinent to see that the way the food is being made, most of them are automated. For instance, whether it's a chapati maker over here, whether it's the boiling unit, everything is completely automated. So what is important is that the crew members should be served on time, and that's a very important task. Joining me is Lieutenant Commander Nishant. Let's hear from him what he has to say. So how does it feel to be the Annapurna for the crew members of INS Vikrant? How does it feel?
It feels very prestigious for us, and we are supporting this floating city, and all the men's, the entire motto of our chefs is to provide the delicious and healthy meal to them every time, be it a rough sea or a calm sea or an operational environment or a peaceful environment. We are here to support them and keep them moving. That is our motto.
So could you just tell us some fascinating figures for our viewers to know?
Sure. So the place where we are standing is a junior sailor's galley, and this particular place is called the servery, where the food is served to the ship's company. And we have 3 such galleys here, and our galley starts morning 3 a.m. and runs till 2200 hours in the evening. Roughly 20 hours these galleys are manned by our chefs, which is fascinating.
What's the staff members? How many staff are there?
We have got around 30 to 50 staffs. They'll be rotating in a shift. Watch us.
And on an average, how many tons of food is made over here? Is there any?
I would like to say that every day we are going to prepare 4 tons of meals. That is 4,000 meals that are going to be prepared on board. And we are going to. We have a ship's company of 1,500 to 2,000. They'll be served 3 times a meal. So that makes it around 5,000 to 6,000 meals that are going to be prepared a day.
Alright, that's 5,000 to 6,000 meals prepared a day, and most of the stuff that has been made using technology, advanced technology, automated technology, using the best of what is available. What's also important is that no gas is used. The entire thing runs on electricity only. That's one of the unique aspect of this galley. So the galley provides food, an important part of INS Vikrant. Let's move on to the next segment, which is a critical part of INS Vikrant. I am at what is called as the heart of the ship, the throttle control room of the INS Vikrant, which controls most of the essential operations, right from power generation to waste disposal, as well as several other, the air condition, the ventilation, and all the main features of the 15-deck ship. Now 2,000 people, crew members are there in the ship, and this is called as a heart of the INS Vikrant. So let's hear from Lieutenant Commander Shravan about the importance of this particular unit of INS Vikrant. So why is it called as a heart of the ship?
This is called the heart of the ship because this is the place from where all the machineries are controlled and monitored. यहाँ से जितने भी इस जहाज पे मशीनरी है और जितने भी इस जहाज पे कंट्रोल सिस्टम से सब कुछ इधर से ही होता है. लाइक एज यू मेंशन, यहाँ पे इंक्लूडिंग दी शिप का मेन इंजन से लेके शिप का फ्रेश वाटर जनरेशन तक हम कंट्रोल इधर से कर सकते हैं. और इन टू बी वेरी पर्टिकुलर, यहाँ पे हमारा दिस पर्टिकुलर प्लेस इज़ ऑलवेज मैन्ड. यहाँ पे हमेशा मैनिंग रहता है, हमारा जवानों का मैनिंग रहता है यहाँ पे. एंड ये 24 आवर्स दे मेक श्योर दी पीपल हु आर ऑन बोर्ड द शिप, उनका लाइफ एंड everything what they are going to experience is comfortable.
This is a unit that works round the clock, am I correct?
Yes, this is the unit where the whole ship is manned at various locations and it is manned around the clock.
The power generation, we believe there are 4 main generators. The power generation, from the power generation to the ventilation, to what extent is the monitoring done?
From here we can even monitor the air which you actually breathe, the people who breathe the air. Then the conditioning of the air which is experienced in every part of the ship is also controlled from this place.
The 76% of INS Vikrant is made with indigenous technology. And when we talk about indigenous technology, the most important part of it is the switchboard room. We are at the switchboard room of INS Vikrant. This has been developed by L&T, an Indian company. What is most important is the fact that all the lighting that has been done over here is all LED lighting. And this particular department ensures the power supply to a small town. It's almost like a small town. 24 megawatt of electricity is produced, and all this is supplied across. The entire system of switchboards and the power cable that is put over here is being set up by this department. To give an idea about how long these cables are, for instance, the switchboard, the cables used for the entire ship, if you just take into account, it's about 2,400 kilometers that covers the distance between Kochi and Delhi. Now, that is how crucial this particular department is, the switchboard department. Let's also speak to the Lieutenant Commander of this department, Lieutenant Commander Robin Kumar. So the switchboard department, one thing proud is that it's indigenously developed, and the cables, everything, whether it's L&T has developed and Bharat Electronics has come into picture. So the Atmanirbharata is one thing which is essential for this. But how do you feel? Can you tell us some fascinating facts about manning the switchboard department?
It is quite fascinating because as you said, it is all indigenously built. The kind of rating that we are dealing here is huge. It is comparing it with any other ship of Indian Navy. It is fabulous. Basically, we can generate up to 24 megawatts of power, and this kind of power, distributing it to the smallest of the consumers on board, it's a very hectic task which L&T has taken, and I must say they've done a very good job.
So we have got information that 2,400 kilometers of cable has been used. So how does it? The entire thing is indigenously done?
Yes, entire thing. It's all done by CSL in consonance with other OEMs.
Yes. So that's the power of an Atmanirbhar Bharat. I'm at the switchboard. This is the essence of what the aspiring India is all about. We must remember, of the 41 ships that are currently being made for the Indian Navy, 39 are made inside the Indian shipyards, and This is the power of Atmanirbharta, and the switchboard of the INS Vikrant is a symbol of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And that is why this department, the power generation department, holds the key to the ship. The medical complex of INS Vikrant consists of over 40 compartments, and these are most advanced medical facilities that are available to the crew members, about 2,000 of them. Now, the medical complex not only just has 2 operation theatre, but it also has medical general ward, isolation ward, female ward, casualty, as well as the ICU. The well-trained doctors, about 5 specialist doctors are there, along with support staff, about 15 more. Now, joining me is Surgeon Commander Yogeshwar, who heads this department. Let's hear from him what he has to say. So could you explain the importance of the medical unit over here?
We will be having close to 1500 plus men on board ship. So to cater for their any medical issues, we are having a team of 5 doctors and 15 paramedic, and we are 40 plus compartment spread all across the ship, which consists of a medical complex. We have 2 modular operation theatres, 1 dental center with 2 dental chairs, wards, laboratory, radiology facilities, physiotherapy facilities, and for the first time in India, we have a CT scan machine installed on board a ship. There is no other ship in India which has a CT scan machine installed on board ship. So in case of any emergencies, we can take care of their health, our men's sailors' health on board ship itself.
A very responsive emergency medical system is on board at the INS Vikrant, and this is also important. It's unique because it's the only ship, as he had rightly said, which has got a CT machine on board.
Let go all lines. Let go all lines.
Full ahead, both sharp.
In 1961, when London gave INS Vikrant to India, it proved crucial for the country. In the 1971 war, INS Vikrant had played an important strategic role in destroying the enemy forces and bringing down the important strategic ports of Pakistan, which led inevitably to the victory of India. In honor of the same, the new INS Vikrant will be more advanced than its predecessor, but the name stands, and on September 2nd, INS Vikrant will be commissioned into the Indian Navy. INS Vikrant is a 262-meter long aircraft carrier and 62-meter wide. Essentially, it's more than 2 football fields and much bigger than 2 hockey fields. It can also, if you have to say, according to the Navy, it's the size of 10 Olympic-sized swimming pools. That's the entire size of this entire deck. I am right now at the flight deck of the INS Vikrant. Now, what is important is the fact that this is a ship which has got 15 decks. More than 1,300 compartments are there in this ship. The total length of the ship is the biggest one ever made. But what's most important is 76% of the ship has been made indigenously. Importantly, more than these figures is the patriotic flavor what one gets when one is on board the flight. Let's hear from Lieutenant Commander Siddharth. How does he feel to be on board? Lieutenant Commander Siddharth, so how does it feel about landing in the indigenous aircraft carrier?
It has always been a pleasure to be on board INS Vikrant. As you said, it is a great emotion and feeling when you land on board the aircraft carrier. Actually, it is called always, whenever you must heard some pilot saying that I'm landing on this or that airfield. But when an aircraft takes off from the aircraft carrier,
and after accomplishing the mission, he comes back, he says, I'm back to my mother. So that is the feeling we have for our parent unit.
What is the motto? I mean, our viewers also would like to hear from you. What is the motto of INS Vikrant?
Okay, so the motto is Jayem Sama Yudhis Pradha, which is taken from Rig Ved. So it goes on like we win over those who dare to fight.
INS Vikrant is all set to dominate the Indian maritime strategic interests and also become a deterrent to the enemy forces. As we step down from this mean machine ever built for the Indian Navy, one thing is sure, the future of India is safe and secure. With video journalist Mani S from Kochi, Ashwin Nandakumar, Republic TV.
सोच का मंथन, विचारों का समागम, इतिहास लिखेंगे हम। राष्ट्रीय सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
A Dalit student was allegedly locked up in a classroom and beaten with a metal rod by his teacher after he touched his motorcycle. The teacher has been reported to be suspended following the incident. This is an incident and another high-octane India versus Pakistan clash in sports news is set for today as both arch-rivals will be looking to make the best of their opening Super 4 match of Asia Cup. India heads into the Super 4 with a clean record. They were on the top of the table with 2 wins in 2 matches and 4 points. Pakistan finished second with 1 win in 2 matches and 2 points. India all-rounder Ravindra Jadeja likely to miss the T20 World Cup in Australia as he undergoes knee surgery. The surgery is expected to keep him out of action for an indefinite period of time. The T20 World Cup begins in Australia from the 16th of next month.
And while Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, in a tell-all interview speaking on her father's assassination in the year 1975, said that they did not just kill my father, but it was a defining moment in the liberation war. Hasina recalled second coup after her father's assassination. She further said that it was unbelievable that a Bengali did this, unquote.
It was really unbelievable that any Bengali could do it. And still we didn't know what really happened, only there was a coup, and then we heard that my father was assassinated, but we didn't know that all the family members were, they were assassinated.
Hasina lauded Prime Minister Narendra Modi for providing vaccine assistance to Bangladesh. PM Hasina further said it was difficult to get major population vaccinated as they were reluctant, but they managed to persuade them. This comes ahead of her meet with Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Their visit at such a time, even that time there was a COVID-19, but this pandemic. But beside that, both of them honor us, honor our people, and that visit really gave us a tremendous,
While speaking on the cattle smuggling scam near the border area, Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said that to control it is underway between India and Bangladesh.
Border smuggling takes place, so two sides, the border force, they are sitting together, any incident happen, they hold the flag meetings, they discuss. So yes, we receive the assurance that it will reduce, so it should not take place.
Speaking on Rohingyas, Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said that they are a huge burden on Bangladesh. She further stated that due to Rohingyas, the crime rates had been increasing, and that is the reason why they should go back to Myanmar.
For us, it is a big burden. India is a vast country, you can accommodate, but you don't have much. But in our country, we 1.1 million Rohingya. So, we are consulting with international community, and also our neighboring country. They should also take some steps so that they can go back home.
Meanwhile, speaking on the number of assassination attempts against her, Prime Minister Hasina said that she doesn't know how is she alive until date. Further, she claimed that the opposition had tried to take her life several times.
Oh, they tried to kill me. Yes. Several times. Yeah. But I survived. You know, in a broad daylight, there was a grenade attack. I don't know how I survived, but our party leaders, workers, they just cover me, made a human shield. So they receive all the splinter, but I was totally saved.
In a mega action by CBI at 7 locations in West Bengal, searches are underway at TMC legislator Subodh Adhikari's residence in a Ponzi scam case. Now, from the 7 locations, 6 premises are connected to Subodh Adhikari. Meanwhile, searches being carried out in Kolkata and Halasahar is also been reported. In a development in the Sonali Fogart murder case, in a joint operation, Goa and Rohtak police raided the address from where Sudhir Sangwan had got his passport made. After dumping the Wadra Congress, Ghulam Nabi Azad held a mega rally in Jammu and Kashmir today. Several supporters joined Azad in his show of strength following his eventful exit from the Congress party.
You spoke about trade relations between the two countries. India is the second largest trading partner. That makes it a little sensitive issue for many Indians who feel that, oh, we should be the largest trading partner of Bangladesh. But you are sandwiched between, you're a smaller nation sandwiched between these two giants, if I may say, India and China. And I'm sure you're asked this many times by the Western media, that how do you balance the relationship?
Our foreign policy is very clear. Friendship to all, malice to none, which my father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, he uttered this in his address in UNO, and we follow his ideology. And my point is that we should focus on our people, how to give them a better life, how to improve their life. And I always saying that we have only one enemy, that is poverty. So let us work together how to eradicate poverty, how to keep our people from South Asia and also China, India, everywhere where there is the downtrodden people, we should ensure them a better life, fulfill their basic needs. And I always feel that, yes, if there is any problem, it is between China and India. But I don't want to poke my nose to that. I want development of my country. And that's because India is our just next door neighbor. We have very good relationship.
India all-rounder Ravindra Jadeja likely to miss the T20 World Cup in Australia as he undergoes knee surgery. The surgery is expected to keep him out of action for an indefinite period of time. The T20 World Cup begins in Australia from the 16th of next month.
So he's injured his knee, but obviously he's ruled out for the Asia Cup. Yeah, he's under the care of the medical team. He's going to see the doctors. He's going to see the experts, and the World Cup is a fair way away, so we don't want to jump to any conclusions and rule him out or rule him in. We'll see how it goes. This is part of sport. People get injured.
देश प्रेम का ज्वार, राष्ट्रवादी विचार, रिपब्लिक भारत तैयार, राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
The curtain raiser event of the 36th National Games will be held at the EKA Arena Trans Stadium in Ahmedabad today evening. In the presence of Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel and Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Thakur will also be present during the event.
विचारों का लहराता समंदर, रिपब्लिक भारत पर जल्द राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि सम्मेलन।
Major protests scheduled to be undertaken by the Congress at the Ram Leela Maidan in Delhi, with the demonstration against price rise termed the Mehengai Par Halla Bol Rally.
मुश्किलों को
burning question.
Businessman Cyrus Mistry no more passes away near Mumbai at the age of 54. Cyrus Mistry and a co-passenger loses his life in a car accident near Palghar. Two more co-passengers shifted to hospital. People from all walks of life, the topmost echelons of governance and politics to business leaders express their condolences at the demise of Cyrus Mistry. After the teacher scam, another cash stash seizure in Bengal, over 1.4 crore rupees recovered in cash. Bengal raids gets bigger after cash bust. Now a narco angle emerges in the CID probe. Big BJP Congress face off over inflation after Rahul Gandhi's Atta Liter comment. BJP schools the Congress parliamentarian. The Central Investigation Department conducted raids at the residence of a businessman in West Bengal's Malda today. From the raids on the businessman identified as Jaiprakash Saha, stacks and stacks of unaccounted cash have been recovered, more than 1.4 crore to be precise. But as more and more cash piles are recovered in Bengal, right from the SSC scam raids to now this in Malda raid, one wonders to all who this cash belongs to, and if there is a political nexus to this raid as well. Remember, there was also another arrest that was made by the Central Bureau of Investigation just about a few days ago. His name is Raju Sahani. From his residence, the Central Bureau of Investigation recovered 80 lakh rupees in cash. Not just that, firearms were also recovered, 1 of cartridges that were recovered. And who is this man? He happens to be the chairperson of the municipal corporation there in Halisar. And what's the correction? It's once again linked to the ruling party. We debate after this report.
Hoards of cash recovered during ED raids at the premises of Partha Chatterjee's aide 2 months ago. And now, stacks of cash recovered by the CID in Malda. The West Bengal Criminal Investigation Department on Sunday seized a large amount of cash amounting to 1.4 crore rupees from the residence of a fish vendor in West Bengal's Malda district.
Now in Malda, the CID has conducted a raid in Malda in the place of Jayaprakash Shah. Now, who is Jayaprakash Shah? Jayaprakash Shah is a fish vendor. Now, how can someone has this amount of money? What is the amount that 1 crore and 40 lakhs rupees they got in the home of Jayaprakash Shah?
From the raids on the businessman identified as Jayaprakash Saha, stacks and stacks of unaccounted cash have been recovered. While an investigation is underway to find out the source of the money trail and how he had amassed the wealth, police are also investigating the narco-terror angle.
Now, what is the connection of this amount with the fish vendor? The CID has said that he has a direct connection in Bangladesh and there is a connection of narco also.
It must be noted that the Bengal raids are witnessing a huge amount of cash recoveries, be it piles of crores recovered from searches linked to SSE scam or the latest from Malda. As the investigation is underway and till no political connection has come up, one wonders if there is a political nexus in the Malda case.
CBI conducted raid in West Bengal, and what happened after that? They arrested Anubroto Mondol, the heavyweight leader of Trinamool Congress. They also arrested Raju Sahani. He is the Hali Sahar municipal chairman. ED conducted raid in West Bengal. They arrested Partho Chattopadhyay. He was the minister of West Bengal. And after that, CID raided in West Bengal, and they arrested Jayaprakash Shah, a fish vendor. Now, who is the next in West Bengal? With Sanjay Naya, this is Rita Basu reporting for Republic, Kolkata.
Joining us on the burning question tonight, Priyanka Tibrewal of the BJP, Pratim Ranjan Bose, senior journalist, joining us from Kolkata, SK Datta, political analyst from the national capital, Riju Datta, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, Shubhankar Bhattacharya, political analyst, joining us from Lucknow, and Nilanjan Das, political analyst, joining us from Kolkata. Starting the burning question tonight is Riju Datta and Priyanka Tibrewal. Let's have both of them on air right now. Riju, first to you. Let me just put out the entire sequence and the connections that have been emerging. And before you essentially indicate that the investigation is underway, so let's not come to any sort of conclusion. We're not coming to any conclusions at the outset. Let me make that very clear. But having said that, there is a lot of answering to do. Let's take a look at some of those images. In fact, our producers can also put out those images of the cash recovery, not just the recovery that was done today, but the recoveries that have been done so far. One starting from the SSE scam, and then it continues, Riju. Now, what's very important is that, I'll just ask our producers, let's move to the other picture. This is the picture that is of the cash recovery that has been made today. Let's also bring in the old pictures of the SSE scam, and that had been linked to none other than a senior leader called Partho Chatterjee. Now, Riju, please explain. In the case of Anubroto Mondol, there is a bodyguard whose name is Saigal Hussain. We are given to understand that Saigal Hussain was the one who was collecting the money on behalf of Anubroto Mondol. A bodyguard has a list of over 60 properties linked to him, Riju. What are we to understand out of it?
Shravan, thank you for your questions. Now let me put it very clear that anyone found guilty of corruption should be put behind bars. We have nothing against these investigating agencies, particularly the officers of these investigating agencies who are doing their job. But the question here is this: all of them who are accused of these scams, nothing has been proven in the court of law, number one. Number two, if you are conducting an investigation, why are you not conducting a fair investigation? And let me point it out to you. If Saigal Hussain is behind bars, there is nothing against Anubroto Mondol. Let me remind your viewers that few years ago, our MP Sudip Bandopadhyay and Madan Mitra was also arrested by the central agencies. One is an MLA now, the other one is an MP sitting in the parliament. Nothing is proven. Secondly, we have always cooperated with the investigating agencies. And if you are so against corruption, then do an introspection, look into your own house. There is a huge scam in Madhya Pradesh which has been unearthed now, in children's nutrition under Shivraj Singh Chauhan's nose. Nothing is happening. CBI and ED get selective conjunctivitis when it's a BJP run state. What happens to why is Shubhendu Adhikari not called? ED, CBI, FIR mentioned in Sharada and Narada scam. What happens to Hemant Biswa Sarma, against whom BJP did a campaign before he joined BJP? So मतलब तृणमूल में रहोगे तो आप criminal हो, BJP के washing machine में धुल जाओ तो आप संत बन जाओगे. This is the kind of hypocrisy that